News that we are breaking to you. Shocking and distasteful comment by BJP Bengal President Dilip Ghosh, who called TMC workers eunuchs. He was referring to TMC celebrating Congress's win in the recent assembly elections. So an extremely unacceptable comment coming in. Let's listen in.
ভোট বেশি পায়নি কংগ্রেস, সমান সমান ভোট পেয়েছে, 2-4টা সিট বেশি পেয়েছে। তাতে এমন নাচানাচি হচ্ছে যেন ভারত জিতে গেছে। তার চেয়ে বেশি তৃণমূল আনন্দ করছে। আরে তোরা কোথায় আছিস? 500টা এমএলএ সিট হলে একটাও সিট দিতে পারেনি, ভাবটা এরকম জিতে গেছে। কারো বাড়িতে বাচ্চা হলো, অনেকে নাচানাচি করে রাস্তায় নেমে। তারা কারা করে আপনারা জানেন, করে কিনা? তাদের বাচ্চা হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা নাই, তাই তারা রাস্তায় লাফালাফি করে ঢোলক বাজায়। তো অন্যের সুখে দুঃখে নাচবেন না।
Tamal Saha joining us on the phone line. Tamal, extremely disgraceful, distasteful and offensive comment coming from the chief of the BJP of West Bengal. In what context did he make this statement? He was clearly unhappy with the recent win of the Congress party in the 3 states. But is this a way to talk about it?
He has simply not disrespected a section of people. He has also tried deriding the nature. Now, these eunuchs, he did not use the word eunuch, but then made a very touchy reference to them, stating that Trinamool Congress is behaving like them while trying to celebrate Congress's victory more than as their victory, and in a way suggesting the way eunuchs would celebrate the joy or celebrations of someone else's family, as has been the ritual and customary. Like them, Trinamool Congress is celebrating Congress's victory in the recent assembly polls, primarily in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan, where Dilip Ghosh was addressing a public meeting at Arambagh, and his speech was simply not disgraceful. He was also trying to incite people, and the current context had been, of course, the Bengal politics. The target is 2019 general elections, and while addressing the public meeting, while trying to corner Trinamool Congress, he has made a reference which has certainly not gone down well, simply not in the political circles, but also in the circles of civil society.
Yes, and let's not forget, Tamal, putting the politics aside, this statement is damaging at various levels at a time when we are trying to be accepting of the third gender, when we are actually, as a channel, of course, taking up the issue of LGBTQ very strongly, the issue of transgender very strongly. You have a leader like Mr. Dilip Ghosh in Bengal, just taking us back, because this is so shameful that he thinks that he can talk about the transgender in such a demeaning manner.
Well, that's right, and he's absolutely unapologetic about it. He enjoyed the rapturous roar of the people and the cheer of the people as he made that statement. And this is not the first time he has said something so infamous. In the past too, he had made inciting, infamous speeches, and every time he has gone scot-free. He has unapologized for them, and this time too, no apology coming in from him, especially at a time when he's trying to lead a party in Bengal, a party which also swears by modernity and development in the country, and especially, as you rightly mentioned, at a time when you're trying to go for an equal society and increase more acceptability among people for the third gender, for the LGBT community. This comment simply not disrespects a section of people, but also in a way tries forming the same old archaic opinion in the minds of people. Back to you.
Yes, perpetuating that kind of a regressive mindset coming from a leader like Dilip Ghosh, extremely unacceptable, Tamal. But like you said, his idea was to actually denounce, was to actually degrade the TMC, because they happen to be celebrating the Congress wins. Now, there is a story there as well. The BJP is extremely unhappy with the TMC cozying up to the Congress once again, after they showed a little bit of distance earlier with Mamata Banerjee digging her heels and wanting to be the primary face. So the BJP extremely uncomfortable with that?
Well, that's right. BJP, after the recent losses in 3 states, is extremely conscious about the run-up to 2019 general elections, and they are focusing on Bengal as they are focusing on other states as well. Yesterday, we saw Smriti Irani, Union Minister, coming to Bengal, giving an explanation on the Rafale, or trying to clarify a lot of doubts concerning the Rafale controversy. And we have also seen how BJP, after being denied permission for Rath Yatra, is trying to take out small public rallies in the nooks and corners of Bengal, in a way make a people-to-people contact, and what many would suggest is BJP's way to resurge. Now, we also know that Trinamool Congress is part of the idea called Mahagathbandhan, where Congress is also very much a part of, and Trinamool Congress so far has attended all opposition meetings, where Congress was also part of. The BJP is certainly wary about Trinamool Congress or their proximity with Congress, and even though there are differences within the Mahagathbandhan with regards to prime ministerial phase, but then Mahagathbandhan, with the participation of almost all the opposition parties, seems like a reality that
Right.
BJP is extremely concerned about. Thus, BJP, while trying to corner Trinamool Congress, while trying to bring up the fact that Trinamool Congress and Congress cannot really form up a formidable force to counter BJP, had come up with a very disgraceful analogy, what you have been showing on our channel, as how disgraceful
Right.
it could be. Well, they tried denouncing a section of
Absolutely, and that is what we are, trying to focus on here. The way Dilip Ghosh has tried to denigrate, belittle the third gender is unacceptable. In his bid to ridicule the TMC, he's used foul language and extremely, disgraceful comment. Garga Chatterjee of Chatterjee of the TMC joining us on the phone line. Mr. Chatterjee, your views on this? You heard Mr. Dilip Ghosh, trying to, of course, dismiss the fact that TMC is using this opportunity to celebrate. It's not your win, it's the Congress's win. And somehow you're trying to, shine in reflected glory. But he's used extremely foul language while trying to do so.
Of course, it is a win for the Congress, but it is also a win for the forces that stand for the Constitution. And as Trinamool, a party that not only believes in upholding the Constitution, but defending the Constitution from those who seek to destroy it, forces like the BJP and the RSS, of course, TMC celebrates the win of the Congress and in Telangana of the TRS, and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has tweeted about it, first of all, in 11 a.m. Now coming to this point, Dilip Ghosh, his persona is unimportant. He represents a party that is completely out of sync with the culture of Bengal. He represents a party of outsiders that regularly brings in the kind of gundas and kind of riot mongers from across the Jharkhand border to create ruckus in Bengal. He creates riots in Bengal. His MP Babul Supriyo has said he would skin police people. They're insensitive towards women. They actually are misogynist. They hate women. They hate the third gender. Prime Minister hates widows, given that the analogy he uses. It is not surprising that Dilip Ghosh, a kind of a small-time player in of the BJP's Bengal branch, does this. But what it also gives a message to all people of Bengal and Bengalis is that look at this party. It's a party just because it has some money bags and it has a communal divisive agenda. Now it's trying to dictate of who should be, for the nation, who should be against the nation, and branding every people in the worst possible language.
Right.
It's not Bengal's culture, and Bengalis will give a befitting reply to this denigration of everything that Bengal stands for, everything, all our mixed culture, our culture of upholding gender rights across genders. Mamata Banerjee was one of the first people who created a transgender board in the whole country among the states.
Right, because Dilip Ghosh is entitled, of course, to criticize the TMC. The opposition parties do that. Yeah. You can do your healthy criticism and your constructive criticism, but this is not acceptable, where you make this kind of an analogy, because clearly, like you said, this smacks of a gender bias towards the third gender, and this cannot be allowed to be perpetuated in West Bengal. Are you telling us that such a comment is only going to backfire on the BJP?
Dilip Ghosh learns it. See, Kailash Vijayvargiya, who is the observer for the Bengal BJP imported from Madhya Pradesh, this old man, this dirty old man, is concerned about where women should put their orna, okay? their
No,
pallu.
let's not get personal, because then you will end up being the same as Dilip Ghosh, because if you make a very personal comment like that. Let's refrain from doing that.
He is on public. The Prime Minister is denigrating widows and women. So when an underling like Dilip Ghosh, he takes to what he sees as kind of his role models. Because Bengal BJP does not have the feet to stand, does not have the power to stand on its own feet. So when it looks for its kind of inspiration from outside, it finds misogynists like, Narendra Modi and Kailash Vijaywargiya. And it will backfire, of course. Bengali people are civilized people. They are not BJP people.
Right. But, looking at the politics of it, while we, of course, completely agree with you that this comment is in very bad taste. But, if you look at the context, he's also trying to say that the TMC is riding on the Congress's success, something that it cannot really take any credit for. Thanks very much for joining us, Mr. Garga Chatterjee.